I can't wait for the action to begin. Just look at these WWE fans. Deep in the heart of wrestling country, this crowd is fired up, and so am I. It's the greatest city in the world, and it's always good to be back home. I can hardly believe it myself. This is going to be off the charts. I hate to agree with you, but you hit that one right on the head. These WWE fans are in for a real treat. And I'm so fired up for tonight's show, I can't wait. Yeah, LA is full of stars, but tonight they're going to see the WWE superstars. The Rose City's going to get its face rocked tonight, and I, for one, can't wait. You can say that again. There won't be much love lost in the city of brotherly love tonight. Hot Atlanta is ready to go, and I'm just as fired up as this sellout crowd. Absolutely. After tonight, Houston's never going to know what hit it. They're already going crazy, and the action hasn't even started yet. This is going to be absolutely huge. This Miami crowd is all fired up. They can't wait for the show to start, and neither can I. I tell you, we're bigger than Elvis tonight. This crowd can't wait. And these Canadian fans are just as fired up as the U.S. fans. It's going to be a great show tonight. Yeah, parlez-vous français, Michael? And you couldn't fit another fan in here with a crowbar. It's cheeseheads as far as the eye can see. What's with the A, Michael? You trying to kiss up to these Canadians? Boy, Smackdown is hot in the 619 area code. This sellout crowd can't wait for the show to start, and neither can I. These fans are so excited, I'm having a hard time staying in my own seat myself. Hey, I got top billing tonight. I like it. Keep it up. Detroit was built on blood, sweat, and American steel, and that's exactly what they're going to see tonight. Every SmackDown show is bigger and better than the one that came before, but tonight's going to be bigger than all of them. These Boston fans are nuts. They've got a taste of championship fever these last couple of years, and they want more. You know what they say, New Hampshire's all right if you like fighting. The Granite State's ready for some action here tonight. I love coming to Canada and seeing that SmackDown's just as big outside the USA as we are back home. They call Kansas City the heart of America, and what could be more American than SmackDown action? I can't believe this capacity crowd. Just when I think they can't get any more fired up, they kick it up another notch. Excited's not the word. These Anaheim fans can't wait to get going, and neither can I. I don't know what it is about Calabasas. Every time we're here, it kind of feels like home. My God, would you look at that. Talk about a crimson mask. Unfortunate? What are you talking about? This is great. Look at all that blood. These fans are getting their money's worth tonight. Oh, look at that. He's bleeding like a stuck pig. The ref's not going to stop the match. It's just a little blood. Be a man, would you? Wow, you're not kidding. He's busted wide open. That's the way to do it. Nothing like the sight of your own blood to take the fight out of you. What? You getting a little squeamish? This ain't ballet, you know. It isn't pretty, but it's effective. You make your opponent bleed, and you got a psychological edge over him. Wow, did you see that? He's been busted wide open. What are you, nuts? The match is getting good now. That depends. Some guys go crazy at the sight of their own blood and become almost unstoppable. Ha ha! I love it when these superstars just go in there and beat the living hell out of each other. There it is, blood in the water. The end is near. Correction, these are WWE superstars, and sometimes this is what it takes to win. Looks like someone's moving up in the world. This could be big, but it could backfire. Going up that turnbuckle hurts a hell of a lot less than coming down from it. Now there's a superstar with guts. These top rope moves, though, are high risk. You got to be careful when you're going up there. He's going up, and what goes up must come down. I don't know. He's putting a lot on the line going up there. I think he's going to fly. This is stupid. Why is he risking everything by going up there? I've seen matches won and lost because of moves like this. Trading punches 15 feet in the air. I don't believe it. It's a long fall for whoever loses this fight. Whoever loses this fight's going to have a long fall in their immediate future. Only one of these superstars is going to hold on. Who's it going to be? They are absolutely tearing each other apart up there. I tell you what, there's not enough room for both of them up there. I have never seen two competitors more determined to beat the living hell out of each other. There's not an ounce of quit in either one of these superstars, but someone is going down. If your opponent knocks you down from there, you might as well throw in the towel. Neither one of these superstars can afford to get knocked off the ladder. This could be it. He's almost there. Oh my God, the title is totally within his reach. Look at that. He's almost got it. Come on, this is for the title. Reach for it. He's making a grab for it. This could be it. His opponent better do something quick or he's going to win this thing right here. Has he got it? He's so close. He's close enough to the title to see his face in it. This has got to be it. I think he's got the title. If he gets that title, he's going home a champion. Come on, this is for the contract. Reach, reach. Almost got it. So close. That briefcase is so close. All he's got to do is reach out and grab it. This has got to be it. That briefcase is coming down right here. He's just a couple inches away from being Mr. Money in the Bank. Somebody better stop him or this one's over. He's going for it. This could be over right here. That briefcase is just a couple inches away. He's almost got it. This could be it. Oh, man, he's almost got it. Oh, man, that's something you're going to feel tomorrow. But let me tell you, you don't feel anything right after it happens. Did you see that? That table's in a million pieces. I tell you what, there's nothing worse than being put through a table. Oh, there we go, right through the table. There you go, through the table. I know what that feels like, and it doesn't feel good. That table shattered into 100 pieces. I'm surprised his opponent didn't too. Putting anyone through a table is guaranteed to keep them down for a while. Wow, he drilled his opponent right through that table. Oh my God, there goes another table. I hope SmackDown's getting a good deal on these. Now that's how you make an impact right there. There he goes, straight up the cage. He's making a break for it. Smart thinking. You got to make sure your opponent's down and out before you make a break for it. Look at this. He wants to get the hell out of there. You can't blame him for wanting out of that cage. You can't start climbing out of the cage until you know your opponent's not going to follow. Look at him go, straight up the cage. It's tougher to get out of that cage than it looks. Trust me. You got to be crazy or stupid to stay in that cage 1 second longer than you need to. Look at this. He's making a break for it. That's it. He reached the top. Only one way to go from here. Top of the cage. This one's almost over. Once you get to the top of the cage, you just about got it won. Top of the cage. He can't get sloppy now. He's at the top of the cage. I don't believe it. If he's going to fall from the top of the cage, he better fall out of the ring. Come on, you're at the top, just a little bit further. He made it to the top. I don't think his opponent's going to stop him. This has got to be it. He's almost out. It's pretty much impossible to stop somebody once they made it this far. Oh, man, right in the cage. You're not going to get any mercy from that cage. Oh, that cage is going to leave a mark. And that's what makes these cage matches so dangerous right there. If you let your opponent use the cage against you, you might as well throw in the towel. I bet his opponent's thinking twice about getting in that cage now. You've got to take every opportunity to beat down your opponent in a cage match. You've got to use every weapon you've got in a cage match, even the cage itself. Unless you're planning on busting through the cage, that isn't exactly the way to win this match. No one who steps into a steel cage comes out the same, and that's why. Whoa, looks like this cage match is going to keep going. You can't escape if your opponent's able to come after you. That was some bad judgment right there. You've got to make sure your opponent is out. His opponent was quick. He was quicker. Now that was a stupid move. There's no way you're going to make it out like that. He's not letting his opponent get away that easy. You're not going to get out of the cage that way. And that's why you don't make a break for it until your opponent's out. Looks like he isn't letting his opponent get away that easy. Getting yanked off the cage is not going to help you win a match like this. Oh, man, right through the cell. Oh, man, that's just about the worst way to return to the ring. Oh, man, they just punched a hole in the cell roof. Whoa, there goes the roof of the cell. And that's why they call it Hell in a Cell. Whoa, there goes the roof. Oh, my God, that's not the kind of thing you normally walk away from. Right through the roof of the cell. I don't believe it. There goes the cell. Did you see that? He just put his opponent right through the roof. Oh, my God, tossed right off the top of the cell. Oh, my God, that is a long way down. You got to be kidding me. That's a 30-foot drop. Wow, did he really just chuck his opponent off of the cell? If you get tossed off the cell, it's a long way down. There is no way to prepare for a 30-foot fall. What a fall. Somebody get some medical assistance out here. This one just went from a career shortener to a career ender. I don't believe it. He just chucked his opponent right off of the cell. Everyone knows the risk going into a match like this, but no one plans on getting thrown off the cell. Well, that just narrowed things down a bit. Over the ropes and down to the floor. Hit the showers, you're out of the match. Man, what a ride. It took him all the way out of the match. Sayonara, pal. See you next time. Oh, he just got eliminated. Can you believe that? He tried to hang on, but not hard enough. He's out. He doesn't look too thrilled about it, but out is out. See ya. There we go. Out of the ring and out of the match. Tough luck. He's not winning this one. Here comes another one. Time for another superstar to join the match. Another superstar's going to get in on the action. Look at him. He can't wait to get it on. Time's up. Another superstar's coming in. Here he comes. I hope he's ready for this. Welcome to the party, pal. The more the merrier. Here comes another superstar just to keep things interesting. Look at the intensity. He's ready to start busting some heads. It's about time he got in on this one. There you go. Into the casket. Uh-oh. He's got his opponent in the casket. Looks like someone's on his way to a dirt nap. If you don't get out of that casket, you're going to wind up buried alive. This buried alive match might be over right here. He's got his opponent in the casket. You know what comes next. Get out of that casket pronto. And that's the last place you want to be in a buried alive match. This is not looking good. He could bury his opponent alive right here. Into the casket. Hope you're not claustrophobic. Uh-oh. You know what's coming next. And what a way to do it. Tombstone piledriver. Looks like he's taking his opponent for a ride. This is it. Last ride. You can practically feel the impact. I think we know where he's going with this. They sure do. The F.U. I've taken that move, and believe me, it doesn't tickle. Looks like he's going for it. This is it, all right. STFU. He's got his opponent right where he wants him. Bam! Scissors kick. He might have just knocked his opponent out cold. Look out. He's going for it. That's not where you want to be when you're fighting this guy. Drop the dime. 619. He's got these fans on their feet. They know what's coming. Look out. Here it comes. 619. He looks like he's feeling froggy. Uh-oh. Looks like he's taking his opponent for a ride. Look out below. What a power bomb that was. Uh-oh. Look out. There it is. The clothesline from hell. The most devastating move in sports entertainment. Watch this. This is going to be cool. Watch this. This is going to be cool. He just got all of that back, Cracker. I think he's going to go for it. He's about to drop a bomb. Holy cow, this is not going to be pretty. And there it is, a diving leg drop. That could do it. The twist of fate. She's going for it, and she found it. What a DDT. She's looking to put her opponent away. Here it comes, DDT. Uh-oh, look out. He's going for it. The pedigree. He's looking to put his opponent away right here. Oh, man, these fans know what's coming next. Pedigree. It doesn't get much bigger than that. He's going for it. Wow, what an RKO. Oh, man, here he comes. And there it is, the RKO. That could take your head clean off. He's going in for the kill. What a huge Batista bomb. That's not a ride you want to take twice. Look at the fans. They know exactly what he's up to. Batista bomb. That will break every bone in your body. He's got his opponent by the throat. He's got his opponent way up there, and what goes up must come down. Uh-oh, I don't like where this is going. Here he goes, choke slam from hell. You cannot even imagine the kind of pain that inflicts. He's tuning up. It's his #1 single, Sweet Chin Music. Sweet Chin Music, that's guaranteed to take the fight right out of you. He's looking for his finisher. Execution. Big move. Here he goes. He's going for it. That's an understatement. What a wicked execution. He's looking for a big move here. Looks like the Dominator to me. You don't see too many superstars come back from that. Check this out. This is going to be huge. And there it is, the Dominator. Figure 4 leg lock. A lot of superstars have been beaten by this one over the years. He's going right after that leg. You know what comes next. Uh-oh, whatever you do, you can't ever let him get a hold of your leg. He's going in for the kill. Figure 4, expertly applied. He's cocking back. Here it comes. He might have just gotten it. What a shot that was. He's got his opponent down, and I think I know where this is going. He's a master of that step-over toe hold face lock. He knows how to turn up the pain. Watch your head. Oh, man, a shining wizard right to the skull. Whoa, look at this. And she's got it. That's a huge face buster right there. Oh, boy, we know where this is going. Yep, and there it is. What a huge face buster. Uh-oh, we know where this one's going. And this'll do it. The gory bomb. Oh, man, that's gonna hurt. Yeah, and they don't get bigger than this. What a frog splash. She's going in for the kill. Oh, man, mid kick right to the kisser. That'll mess up your looks. I think he's going for that full Nelson. The master lock is locked in. There aren't many superstars who can stand this for long. Here's why you don't want to get into the ring with this guy. That master lock is one heck of a way to do it. That is a vicious, deadly hold. Oh, where's she going? She's going for it. Are you ready to get electrified? Rock bottom, rock bottom. Did you see that? What a move. Uh-oh, somebody's about to hit bottom here. Kick in the gut. Here it comes. Stunner. He could take your head clean off with that one. Stone Cold Stunner. That could seal the deal right there. Uh-oh, you know what this is. He's got it. The double arm suplex. We've seen that one in a lot of matches over the years. And he's making the most of it. He's locking in the sleeper, and his opponent might be on the way out. Uh-oh, you know where this is going. I think he's getting ready to make a leap of faith here. Okay, I won't, but that was one heck of a leap of faith right there. He can and did a huge leap of faith, and that's the kind of gutsy move that wins matches. Uh-oh, this could backfire big time. And that playmaker's nothing to sneeze at. That'll put your lights out in a hurry. He's trying to finish off his opponent. You called it. The Starstruck connects. That's usually the beginning of the end. Oh man, you'll be seeing stars after this one. If you thought it was the Starstruck, you're absolutely right. Here's a flashy little number for the WWE fans. And that backbreaker might have done it. That'll take the fight out of you in a hurry. She's got a fistful of air. And I think she got all of that spear. Uh-oh, here it comes. She's going for the spear. He might have crushed his opponent's throat with that Samoan spike. Uh-oh, you know what this is? The Celtic Cross. You don't see many superstars get up from that one. He's going for it. Here it comes. They sure do, and there it is, the bookend. We sure do, the Kenton Bomb. What an impact. Kenton Bomb. Now that's a move right there. There's no doubt who's in control of this match. There's the opportunity. He's going for it. And upside down head scissors. That move puts her in the driver's seat for sure. A textbook upside down head scissors. Not many superstars make that look so good. It's the most electrifying move in sports entertainment, the people's elbow. Uh-oh, we know where this is going. Now where the heck is he going? We sure do, the White Russian leg sweep. These fans know what he's got in mind here. White Russian leg sweep. Not many superstars go on to win a match after getting hit with that. He's going for it. That's a classic move right there. You turn your opponent's own body weight against them. She's looking to put the hurt on her opponent here. She just slapped the taste out of her opponent's mouth. Uh-oh, a slap like that doesn't tickle, believe you me. I swear every time I see him execute that move, I'm convinced he's going to break his neck. His opponent might be out of it right here. Whisper in the wind. There aren't many superstars with the guts to try that. Oh, man, we've seen this before. And that big Samoan drop might have put the exclamation point on this one. He's going for something big here. And a Samoan drop like that will knock you silly for a few seconds. This is his chance to capitalize. Buckle up. This one's gonna hurt. That neck breaker is a move that can knock your opponent out cold, and that's exactly what he had in mind. Oh, man, one neck breaker coming up. What a neck breaker. His opponent's going to be feeling that one tomorrow. He's got that Anaconda Vice locked in, and his opponent is in serious trouble. His opponent's helpless, and he's going in for the kill. And there aren't a lot of superstars who can shrug off a running knee to the head. Here's something you don't see every day. Arabian Facebuster. You won't be winning any beauty contest after that one. Oh, man, I hate this move. You're not kidding. They don't come much bigger than the triple jump moonsault. It's the world's strongest slam. That is vicious. We sure do, and there it is, world's strongest slam. Uh-oh, here it comes. This is not going to be pretty. And that two-handed choke slam is nothing to sneeze at. That's a move that'll knock you out cold if you're lucky. Uh-oh, we know what this is. Look at this, a two-handed choke slam. And that move will just about take your head off. And I think we know who's in the driver's seat now. Check this out. Here comes the guillotine leg drop. Here we go. You know where this is going. And he just nailed his opponent with that running body block. Oh, man, he just knocked his opponent's block off with that running body block. Uh-oh, here he comes. He's like a runaway train. It's not his eyes you got to worry about. What a wicked pump handle slam. Sometimes the simplest moves work best. Uh-oh, look out. His opponent is vulnerable, and he's going in for the kill. And that Dreamer driver might be all she wrote. And he made the most of it with that DDT. Uh-oh, I know where this is going. Wait a second, what's he doing? It's the Elijah Express, and that might be all she wrote. It's not just a leg sweep, it's the Elijah Experience, and man, did he nail it. Here it comes, the Elijah Experience. All aboard, here it comes. I can't believe the mandible claw is a legitimate move. It is absolutely disgusting. It is the double arm DDT, and you won't see many superstars get up from that. Oh, man, he's going for it. Oh, no, don't tell me he's going to do what I think he's going to do. I sure do. Sharpshooter, talk about your excellence of execution. It absolutely could. A pile driver like that is not something you just shake off. Uh-oh, someone's about to get dumped on their head. He's got that leg. He's going for it. Good night. That'll put you out for the count. You're damn right. Nobody gets up from the Rude Awakening. Nobody. Look at this. It's the Rude Awakening. Here we go, the Rude Awakening. And that's why he is a master of that spinning toe hold. Nobody does it better. Everything's bigger in Texas. Trust me. Look at this. He's going for the Texas pile driver. He's got a hold of that leg, and he's not letting go. Come on. Everyone knows that move, and that stunner might be all she wrote. Nether regions. Why can't you just call it a low blow like normal people? Oh, what a low blow. That hurts just watching it. Stunner! Stunner! Nobody does it better. There's the cover. Here's the pin. He's going for the pin. This could be 3 right here. Here's the pin. This could be it. He's 3 seconds away from victory. He's going for the cover. His opponent might not have enough left to kick out. On the mat, shoulders down. This could be it. He could get the pin right here. That's all she wrote. I don't know if everyone's going to be happy about it, but this one's over. You couldn't ask for anything else from these superstars. Talk about leaving it all in the ring. Too bad that's it. I could have watched them go all night. Well, there you have it. He did it. What a match. You don't see something like that every day. That was a heck of a match. I wouldn't mind seeing them mix it up again. That was an impressive win. I've got a new respect for him. That's the 3 count. That's all she wrote. Whenever you can pin your opponent's shoulder to the match for the 3 count, you're sending a message. He might have gotten the pinfall, but I'd be real surprised if we didn't see a rematch after that one. I hope so, because when the WWE fan speaks, the WWE listens. There shouldn't be. If you pin your opponent, the ref counts 3, that is it. That's a tough loss, but if you don't have what it takes, you don't have what it takes. You can't say he didn't earn it. He got the 3 count, and that's all that matters. That was one heck of a match, and I wouldn't have minded seeing them go a little longer. Yeah, I know, but I hope we get to see these superstars go at it again soon. Yep, he was the better man tonight, but if I could give him a piece of advice, I'd tell him not to get cocky. I gotta say I'm stunned. That's not how I thought this match was going to end. Oh, so that's how it works. Thanks for breaking it down for me. I had no idea. Yeah, making your opponent quit the match is a seriously powerful statement. There you have it. Victory by submission. I gotta take my hat off to him. Yeah, but when you're hurt so bad that you'll tap out, you probably don't have much left in the tank anyway. That's the best way to win a match, in my opinion. There's nothing more decisive than making your opponent tap out. I've been on both ends of a tap out, and let me tell you, it's better to give than to receive. That's the understatement of the year. If you ever find yourself in that one, get your tap in hand ready. If you pin someone, it means they couldn't continue the match. But if you make them tap out, it means they didn't want to continue. Big difference. That was a tough match, but he stepped right up to the challenge. You're damn right it isn't. That just sent a powerful message to the entire locker room. Yeah, but what else can you do? Risk a potentially career-ending injury? That was a huge win. I can't believe he actually pulled it off. You gotta be kidding me. A count out? That's how this is gonna end? Yeah, but for a match like this, you should be able to bend the rules a little. What a letdown. What? You gotta be kidding me. Someone's gonna come out here and restart this thing, right? A count out? You gotta be kidding me. When's the last time you saw a match end like that? I wouldn't say that. It might get you the win, but it doesn't prove a damn thing in my book. Yeah, when you're still standing and your opponent can't, it's pretty clear who the winner is. Oh, man, I wasn't expecting them to be gentle, but the glove sure came off in this one. I think you'd have to go back to my historic reign as WWE Champion, and that's saying something. Man, he just knocked his opponent out cold. I love it. It sure doesn't, and I hope they have a rematch so he can prove it again. What a match. I might almost have to call that one a slobber knocker. Well, whatever you call it, these WWE fans got their money's worth out of that one, that's for sure. And I can't think of a better way to prove that you're the tougher superstar. You gotta be kidding me. That's it? It's over? Oh, man, what a ripoff. We better get a rematch or I'm gonna be seriously steamed. Me too. Ever since the match was made, I've been wondering who'd win it. Wait, that's it? The ref's just gonna let it end like that? Yeah, but this isn't right. This is a total letdown for everyone, including these superstars. That wasn't even 2. Way too early to get a 3 count. That wasn't even close to 3. I hope he didn't seriously think he was getting the pin there. You gotta be kidding me. That was nowhere near 3. That was like 2.5. Talk about cutting it close. That was almost 3. Come on, that was 3, wasn't it? He almost got the 3 right there. Oh, man, I can't believe that wasn't 3. Anything and everything. No ref means no rules. And this is where things start getting interesting. Whoa, there goes the referee. Might as well chuck the rule book out the window. They got to start getting sturdier refs. This kind of thing seems to happen a lot. Oh, the ref's out like a light. Anything goes now. I think someone's looking for a weapon. All right, time to see what we got under the ring. You never know what you'll find under the ring. I saw some pretty dangerous stuff under that ring earlier. That's the way to do it. Grab a weapon from under the ring and start swinging. Maybe not, but it seems to be doing the trick. Who in their right mind would try to do that? You're not kidding, Cole. That's gotta hurt like crazy. Don't get squeamish on me, boy. Inflicting pain's the name of the game. You could hear that one up in the cheap seats. You sure aren't. I don't care how tough you are. And as long as he's got that thing, he's in the driver's seat. Did you see that? What a shot. Yeah, that's it. Do it again. And that's why foreign objects are a superstar's best friend. Yeah, and that doesn't tickle, believe me. Man, what a chair shot. Reminds me of my good old days as the hardcore champion. Well, it's good for what he's using it for, and that's all that matters. Well, I guess it's better than being put through a table, but not much. He just about broke his opponent in half with that table. Well, if you keep getting hit like that, you don't. Plain and simple. You'd have to be deaf to miss that. Ooh, those steel ring steps don't tickle, believe me. Man, that'll do a number on you quick. You take too many of those and you'll be needing one to help you get around after the match. Man, he's really laying into his opponent with that crutch. I don't know whose crutch that is, but they're going to have a tough time hobbling out of here tonight. I took a few of those in my day, and that's an experience I don't ever want to repeat. I've taken cane shots in my time, and they're even more painful than they look. And let me tell you, a few of those will beat the fight right out of you. That's a tried and true way to beat the fight out of your opponent in a hurry. Looks like someone's taking out the trash here. And believe me, that hurts worse than it looks. That'll put your fire out in a hurry. Oh man, did you see that? Yeah, and that's not something you just walk off. Those things are heavy and rock solid. You can do a lot of damage in a hurry with them. These superstars aren't holding back anything here tonight. Yeah, or vice versa, and those things aren't cheap. No kidding, that thing's meant to crush stone. Imagine what it'll do to a human being. Wow, what a shot! That sledgehammer will mess you up, but good. He's all about bringing the hammer down, and that proves it. You're not kidding. This isn't going to do you any favors if you get stuck in it. And this is not easy to get out of. It wouldn't surprise me one bit. The longer you stay in this game, the more you risk a serious injury. It sure could. That's a lot of pressure being applied in that hold. And even if you can't make your opponent tap out, this will take a lot of the fight out of them. And that means you either got to dig deep and find a way to break it, or you got to tap out. He sure is. If your opponent lets you lock that in, it usually means there ain't much left. Wow, look at that submission. I've never seen it executed better. Oh, man, this is just about the last hold you want to find yourself in. There's the submission hold. I've seen a lot of superstars tap out to this one. He's going for the submission. He smells blood in the water. He's going straight for the submission. I've been locked in this hold before, and it hurts even worse than it looks. Yeah, well, I've been on both sides of it, and let me tell you, it's better to give than to receive. He's not taking any chances with this submission. Look at how tight he's got it locked in. Hey, I've said it before, this ain't ballet. Of course, I guess there aren't any rules in ballet either. If you hadn't noticed, this isn't exactly Queensberry rules, but we aren't in Queensberry, wherever that is. You know what they say, it's all legal till you get caught. Hey, it isn't how you play the game. It's whether you win or lose. Well, it's like we used to say back in the day. Rules are like bones. They're made to be broken. It's like they say, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. Nice one. I always thought there were too many rules in this business anyway. Now, there's a guy who'll do whatever it takes to win. I like it. Wow. I guess it's true what they say, Cole. All's fair in love and war. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. Bottom line is, it ain't. And that's what matters. If you're not doing everything you can to win, you're in the wrong business. Yeah, well, I got some bad news for the WWE fans. He doesn't care what they think. Hey, nothing wrong with doing whatever it takes to win. If it was that bad, the ref would have disqualified him, right? Of course he will. That's what you got to do to survive in this business. That isn't going to make you popular, but you got to do whatever it takes to win. That's not in the rule book, but it's not a crime if you don't get caught. He likes fighting dirty, and it's easy to see why. He's really good at it. I don't think the fans like that one too much. I'm sure that breaks his heart. He's been looking for that all match, and now he's taking advantage. You got to watch out for your opponent when they're getting fired up like this. Hey, try to restrain yourself a little bit, okay? You're supposed to be calling this down the middle. Yeah? Well, one mistake and we're going to see that fire put out pronto. You can't just keep playing to the crowd. That's a huge distraction in my opinion. You know, there's such a thing as playing to the crowd too much, and that's what I'm seeing here. And if his opponent is smart, he'll get the hell out of there. Look at this, pandering to the crowd. Come on, quit showing off. This is a wrestling match, not a popularity contest. Instead of pandering to the fans, you should really keep your head in the match. Man, this crowd is really swelling this guy's head. Yeah, but the thing about hearts is they got to pump some blood to the brain. You got to be dreaming if you think you're going to pull that off. Haha, that'd be hilarious. Keep it up. Yeah, and an F for no freaking way you're going to lift him. I can't believe he even thought it was possible. Ha! Talk about delusions of grandeur. Yeah, well, that's not going to happen. Thanks for playing. He's going to throw out his back if he keeps this up. This is never, ever going to work. Not in a million years. You got to be kidding me. Give it up. It ain't going to happen. There's the reversal. That was a textbook reversal. You feel like a jerk when someone counters you like that. He made his opponent look like a chump with that counter. Watch it. He reversed it. He slipped out of that one. He dodged that bullet. Wow, great reversal. And there's the counter. Nice quick counter there. I knew it. He was just faking. You got to be some kind of idiot to get fooled by that. What kind of moron falls for an obvious trick like that? I don't want to doubt the guy's sincerity, but he was obviously playing possum there. You got to give him credit. He was playing possum, and he got away with it. These superstars have been pounding the hell out of each other, and now we're starting to see the effects of that. You can't compete in a physical match like this and not wind up feeling the effects, and that's what we're starting to see. The name of the game is beat down your opponent till they can't stop you, and that's exactly what's happening here. This is how you win a match. You work over your opponent till they can't fight back. I don't think this is going to last much longer. Talk about running on empty. I don't care how bad you want to win a match. The human body's only capable of so much. This one's going to be over sooner rather than later. I don't even know how you can still stand after taking that much abuse. I don't think this one's going to last much longer. The most frustrating thing in the world is when you want to keep fighting and there's just nothing left. And I think we're getting to that point here. I don't think you can keep going for much longer after taking that much punishment. You can't take this type of beating and expect to win the match. I don't think this is going to last much longer. Yeah, but that kind of thing's not going to win you the match. Yeah, but you got to worry more about the injury and less about the insult till the match is over. You sure you can spare it? He looks a little overconfident to me. This could come back to bite him. Who cares what they think? All he's doing here is giving his opponent a chance to recover. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Nothing costs you a match quicker than overconfidence. Yeah, that's just great. Why don't you just quit showing off and get down to business? This is just dumb. You don't win a match by taunting your opponent to death. You can show off for the crowd if you want, but all that does is let your opponent rest up. He can taunt all he wants, but once he's lost the match, he's going to wish he spent this time going after his opponent. Now that's the way to do it. Let your opponent know who's boss. I love it. Talk about rubbing your opponent's face in it. Look at the confidence. He's letting his opponent know what's up. Looks like someone's making it clear that he's not feeling too threatened right about now. Aha, look at this, Cole. He doesn't look too worried about this match. Give it a rest. There's nothing wrong with getting inside your opponent's head like this. I think it's great. That's not arrogance, that's confidence, and that's what wins matches. It's not about winning over fans. He's letting everyone know that he doesn't care what they think. Hey, don't get hot. He's just having a little fun here. Yeah, and his opponent isn't doing anything about it. What does that tell you? And there's the tag. He's tagged in his partner. Looks like a tag to me. Looks like they got the tag. Oh, man, there's the tag. Quick tags are the best way to win a match like this. The tag's been made and his partner's coming in. There's the tag. Nice teamwork there. There's the tag. They made the tag. Here we go. That's the law of the jungle. An injured superstar is like a wounded animal. It's survival of the fittest. That's absolutely right. This business is as psychological as it is physical. You can't let your opponents think you're easy pickings. I don't say this too often, but I completely agree with you. This has all the makings of a nice, long rivalry. Hey, watch your language. This is a family show. Man, this one's turned into a fight, pure and simple. I gotta admit, it took me by surprise, and that doesn't happen often. I guess it just goes to show you anything can happen here in the WWE. Talk about superstars who don't have an ounce of quit between them. You're looking at them right here. Hey, you got to be in there every single match and be willing to do whatever it takes. You'd know that if you actually ever step between those ropes. You know, I'm going to replace you with somebody who actually knows what they're talking about. Maybe Carlito. He might be a little tough to understand sometimes, but at least he knows what it's like to wrestle a match. You know, if you let me train you, you could be cruiserweight champ inside a year. Are you surprised? They're just training people to go to war. I train them to be WWE superstars. These superstars have been giving it everything they've got all night. Yeah, you're not going to win a match if you're blown up 2 minutes into it. This has been a great match so far, but I think it's pretty obvious which way it's going. There's no guesswork involved, but if you're going to be snippy, I'm just going to keep my mouth shut. These superstars are at the top of their game, but only one of them is going to have his hand raised at the end of this one. So what? You want to say that everybody wins so that nobody gets their feelings hurt? It's so great seeing these superstars in competition here tonight. I had a feeling they were going to wind up against each other sooner or later. That's for sure. You know, anytime you throw these kind of combustible elements into a match, you're guaranteed a great show. Even if you wind up winning a match like this, you're going to be feeling it for the next week. Hey, that's pretty insightful for a guy who's never wrestled a match in his life. These superstars give everything they've got when they're in a match like this, but a lot of people don't realize what they sacrifice behind the scenes too. And for a lot of guys, their WWE career is their life. That's why you see so much passion for what they do in the ring. I've been looking forward to this match all night. And usually when you got that kind of hype, it's tough to live up to expectation, but these superstars aren't having any trouble doing that. Seeing a match like this makes me proud to be part of this company. And that's because you're not going to see athletes like the WWE superstars anywhere else, Cole. Wouldn't surprise me one bit. This is a great match and the fans are definitely into it. No kidding. No matter what call you make, you're going to get on the bad side of at least one superstar. Of course not. That's the kind of attitude that gets you beat quicker than anything. Man, what a match. Kids, if you're watching this, don't try this stuff at home. That's for sure. Even me, a former WWE champion, has had his share of injuries over the years. I think these superstars are going to keep it up until they've got literally nothing left to give. I'd love to know where you're coming up with this stuff because it sure ain't from personal experience. Man, I don't want this match to end. Well, whichever way it goes, no one can say that these superstars didn't give it everything they got. When I first heard about this match, I wasn't sure what to think, but these superstars are blowing me away. I didn't say I'm not disappointed, but I'll talk about getting stuck with you as a broadcast partner some other time. And that's a good thing. I don't even like to think about where we'd be if they didn't. I don't think you're going to be able to. Just sit back and enjoy the ride. It's crazy to think that we actually get paid to do a job like this. There's thousands of people out there who would do this for free. Keep it up, and you're going to find out exactly how tough it is to do this job with your jaw wired shut. Look at these superstars go. It's obvious that they've done their homework on each other. 90% of a match is in the preparation. You got to come in ready for battle. This match proves without a doubt why SmackDown's the dominant brand in sports entertainment. Even if you did, you'd have to hear about puppies and government mules and scalded dogs. It's like a zoo over there. And it's a good thing, too. If they're not buying tickets, we're not getting paychecks. Well, you don't get too far in this business if you're not. There isn't an ounce of quit in these superstars. I cannot remember the last time I've seen a crowd this pumped up. I know I say this a lot, but it ain't ballet. You step between those ropes, you better be prepared to take some punishment. These superstars are on fire tonight. I've got to admit it, I'm impressed by these superstars' performance here tonight. Anyone who thinks this business is a piece of cake should get into the ring with these superstars. These superstars are putting on a clinic. As long as these superstars have got anything left in the tank, they'll keep going at it. So have you got any predictions about who's going to win this one? The key to winning a match like this is to build momentum. You're not going to see a match won with just one or two moves. We've seen some pretty good back and forth here, but you don't see too many matches end that way. This one's going to keep going until someone can't go anymore. Boy, this is not the way I thought this match was going to go at all. There's been a lot of blood, sweat, and tears shed in that ring over the years. This one could still go either way. Oh, man, I don't envy that referee. The last place I'd want to be is between these two superstars. What a match. I've got no idea what these superstars are going to do next. The refs got a tough job trying to keep these superstars on the up and up. Look, if you're going to get on your high horse again and give us another lecture about playing fair, I am going to regurgitate. That's because you never competed in a match. If you did, you would know that you got to do whatever it takes to win. What do you expect? These are WWE superstars, the greatest athletes in the world. No, there isn't. They got to be here week in, week out, and they go until they can't go anymore. That's not necessarily the case. Just because it's called a finisher doesn't mean it always ends the match. That's ridiculous. When I hit someone with the clothesline from hell, they stayed down, period. This match is so good, it's even worth having to sit next to you to watch it. You know what? You should partner up with Jerry Lawler. Then you could have the king and the queen on commentary. This is one heck of a match so far. Well, that'll probably come a little later in the match when you shut your yap for a few seconds and let me enjoy it in peace. You can imagine the tension between the competitors right now. Well, you could if you had ever actually been in a match. Trust me, when it comes down to you or them, it's a whole different level of intensity. This sellout crowd just can't get enough of these superstars. Well, if that's the case, how come they got you as an announcer? That's not exactly a great entertainment value. I'd ask you who you were pulling for in this match, but I think it's pretty obvious since the beginning who you're rooting for. Spoken like somebody who's never been in a match, Michael. If you're putting your body on the line in there, you got to do whatever it takes to protect yourself and pick up the win. You don't see action like this every day. We sure do, front and center. We couldn't be any closer to this match without being in it. Look, all the WWE superstars are tough human beings, but these competitors tonight are really raising the bar. And that's the name of the game, intensity. You got to stay on your opponent until one of you cannot go anymore. Wow. I almost feel bad for JR and the King. When's the last time you think they saw a match this good? Well, that just makes sense. After all, SmackDown is the #1 brand in all of sports entertainment. When you see this level of competition, there's no doubt that SmackDown is just head and shoulders better than Raw. Look, I know you're just trying to be diplomatic, but you can't seriously say that there's anyone on the Raw roster you'd want to have here on SmackDown. Can you believe this match so far? Yeah, I gotta admit, they are surprising the hell out of me here too. These superstars are looking for an opening here to try and gain the advantage. You can say that again. Waiting for your opponent to make a move or give you an opening can be just as intense as putting them through a table. No surprises there. When's the last time you saw a WWE superstar go halfway? I gotta say, I didn't expect these superstars to go after each other the way they have tonight. This has been a brutal match so far. Oh, really? I was wondering what happened to the pointy-toe shoes and frilly little skirts. I'd check your closet, but I'd have to wait for you to come out first. This has been a barn burner of a match so far. Yeah, but going for those two quickly is the best way to lose a match. Now that's a real pearl of wisdom. You got any more? Like the superstar who beats their opponents will be the winner? Well, I think we know which way this one's gonna go. And what perspective would that be? The perspective of somebody who's never actually been in a match? I just hope the WWE fans appreciate it. These superstars put their bodies on the line night after night. If you ever wonder just how much punishment a human being could take, I think you're going to get your answer tonight. That's not what they're getting paid for. And besides, their pride wouldn't let them give less than 100%. You look at any other sport in the world and you won't find a single athlete that can compare with the WWE superstars. And we're not just talking about swinging a bat or kicking a ball. WWE is the most physical competition you can be a part of, hands down. Good thing, because I don't think we'd hear the end of it if we cut away here. These superstars are pounding the hell out of each other. How much longer can they keep this up? I tell you, this is what WWE is all about. How much longer are these superstars going to be able to keep it up? I think I got a pretty good idea of who's going to win this one. This could go down in the books as an instant classic. These superstars are beating the living hell out of each other, and this crowd's eating it up. You're not going to see superstars like this anywhere else except on SmackDown. This is one hell of a performance by some amazing superstars. I don't think there's going to be anything left of these superstars by the time this is over. It's not easy maintaining this kind of intensity week after week after week. Trust me. Look at these superstars. They haven't even contemplated the fact that they might lose here tonight. Conditioning is a huge factor in any match. If you can't go the distance, there's no way you're going to win. The more I watch this match, the more I realize there might be some real personal issues here with these superstars. I talked to these superstars before the match, and I've never seen competitors more fired up and ready to get it on. I think things might quiet down a little here soon. I hope these fans realize they are getting their money's worth. It's obvious that these superstars have studied each other carefully. I wonder if we're going to see anything this good on Raw next week. You never know what to expect from these superstars. This could be over in 60 seconds or 60 minutes. These superstars are showing some great intensity here tonight, and that is exactly what these WWE fans came to see. A lot of people think Rey Mysterio's really exciting to watch, but he just doesn't have the size nor the strength to compete at this level. Sure, but if it comes down to Mysterio versus a super heavyweight, I know where I'm putting my money. You know, maybe Hardy should worry more about trying not to lose. Seems to me that's where he could use the most work. Bobby Lashley's a big guy, but he's got to be careful not to depend too much on his size and strength. Keep telling yourself that. It's true what they say. The bigger they are, the harder they fall, and Lashley might learn the hard way. Bobby Lashley's a legitimate tough guy, no doubt about it, but raw power only gets you so far in this business. Oh yeah? He looks great on paper, but I want to see how he does here tonight before I start calling him the next big thing. Absolutely. Anyone who talks trash about Piper is probably someone he beat and embarrassed back in the day. Hey, Piper never denied that he'll do whatever it takes to win the match, and you can't say it hasn't paid dividends for him. There's been a lot of superstars over the years that the fans couldn't get enough of, and most of them have one thing in common. They faced Rowdy Roddy Piper in the ring. That's exactly what I'm saying. It's easy to be the good guy when you're facing an opponent as nasty as Piper. You're absolutely right. Whether the fans are cheering him or booing him, he never fails to get a reaction. No kidding. I must have seen 100 of Piper's matches, and every time he steps between those ropes, he shows me something new. I gotta agree with that. He's the son of Vince McMahon. He could have sat back and lived off a trust fund, but the kid gets in there and competes. I respect that. Shane O'Mac's either got a lot of guts or he's just plain crazy. Maybe a little of both. Either way, you're not going to get bored watching him. My eyes are glued to Shane O'Mac right now. You never know when this kid's going to bust out some crazy move. And respect about him too. Shane will stop at nothing to entertain these WWE fans, and you got to love that. Personally, I'm glad Shane O'Mac doesn't compete every week, or he'd be in a wheelchair by now. This lunatic doesn't know the meaning of the words, take it easy. The Undertaker's got an impressive history here in WWE, but you're only as good as your last match. Undertaker has earned his rep, no doubt about it, but you got to know when to call it a day. There's a fine line between legend and has-been. Maybe that's why I didn't come out and say it then. I'm just saying the thing about being at the top is there's nowhere to go but down. Yeah, Cena's shot up real quick, but he hasn't picked up the experience that a lot of other superstars have. He's impressive, no question, but it's not like he's the biggest or the baddest guy to set foot in a WWE ring. Hey, anybody can have a few good nights. I think Batista's overrated, and I think we're going to see that here tonight. Sure, he was a champ for what? Couple of weeks? Of course, it wasn't anything compared to my legendary reign. Yeah, a fluke victory against an injured opponent. That's how this little jumping bean has to win his matches. Yeah, Michaels has been in this business a long time, and I'm not surprised he's stuck with Raw. I doubt he could keep up with some of the younger SmackDown talent. All I'm saying is that ever since Raw and SmackDown became separate brands, we haven't seen much of Michaels on SmackDown. You take that any way you want. Half of The Undertaker's style is about getting inside his opponent's head. If you can keep your cool in the ring with him, you got a chance. Of course you can't. The man's a legend. That's why I didn't bother mentioning it. Yeah, but you can only stay on top of the mountain for so long, and the dead man's been there for a long time. Cena spends a lot of time running his mouth. If I were him, I'd put that energy into improving my ring skills. Listen, if you're not constantly trying to improve, you're going to get overtaken by a guy who is. Cena better keep that in mind. Yeah, and that's great for him, but this is a match, not a popularity contest. Speaking of the law of physics, I think Ray's gotten to a point where his competition is just too big and too strong for him to beat. Eddie Guerrero's a great superstar, but he's got to keep his head in this match and quit playing to the crowd if he wants to win. I'm not saying it's not nice to know the fans love you. I'm just saying it's nice to have your hand raised in victory after the match, too. Yeah, and I don't know why. He lies, he cheats, and he steals. These fans hate it when most superstars pull that. What is so different about Eddie? If you ask me, Batista's best days were back when he was Triple H's lackey. Batista's had a lot of success so far, but that's because most of his opponents let him psych them out. Michaels sure is getting up there. If he sticks around too much longer, HBK's going to stand for the has-been kid. Yeah, but that will only take you so far. You've got to have the physical skills to match that if you want to make it to the top of the mountain around here. Let's face it, Hardy has made a career of biting off more than he can chew. I think he really believes his own hype. If there's a more overrated superstar on the SmackDown roster than Matt Hardy, I couldn't tell you who it is. Yeah, but to hear him talk, he's the second coming or something. And if you ask me, he's just second rate. Yeah, well, they might react even better to a win every now and then, if you ask me. No disrespect, but when is Matt Hardy just going to pack it in and call it a day? Lashley's a powerhouse, no doubt about it, but he lacks experience, and experience is what makes all the difference. That's a little below the belt, isn't it? Let's talk about all of your championship reigns. Okay, we're done. Yeah, but if Lashley knows what's good for him, he won't worry about the fans. He'll just focus on taking care of business in the ring. I could be in this business another 100 years, and I bet I'd never see another superstar like Hot Rod Roddy Piper. Yeah, but he does it to entertain the fans, and whether they like him or not, they respect that about him. You're such a hypocrite. If it was anyone else in there cheating to win, you'd be all over them. So much for objective commentary. I guess it's up to me to provide the fair and balanced analysis as usual. Yeah? Well, what do they know about cool? And what do you know about it either, for that matter? If you're relying on these yahoos to tell you what's cool, you've got bigger problems than I thought. Mark my words, one of these days, Ric Flair's cheating ways are going to catch up with him. Ric Flair is a terrible example to every young superstar. The man built his career on cheating and stealing victories. Can someone please explain to me what's so cool about a giant afro and a stupid accent? Her only problem is her terrible taste in men. You know she's refused every dinner invitation I've offered her. Who said anything about marrying her? Ashley's a wild little filly, but I bet I could tame her. She seems like she'd be a couple, but I don't see what that has to do with anything. Come on, what would you do with a woman like Ashley? I don't care how many times I see her, I'll never get over how good Ashley looks. You'd have to be blind, deaf, and stupid not to. That is one beautiful creature right there. And I, for one, am grateful for that. The last thing this company needs is another head case like him. Unconventional is wearing blue jeans to a business meeting. Jeff Hardy is a freak show. I'll never understand how Jeff Hardy can leave the house looking like that. You'd never catch me wearing my hair that long. It's just unmanly. That's because he's got more brains than sense. What in the world happened to Jeff Hardy to make him turn out the way he did? Of course he does. These people want to cheer someone who's as big of a loser as they are. Shad is one half of a team that calls themselves Crime Time. And you're telling me he's not a criminal? Okay, now you're really starting to annoy me. Let's just drop this before I have to drop you. Personally, I think it's disgusting that these fans cheer for a career criminal like Shad. Then that makes everyone in this arena an accessory to theft. I can't believe your hypocrisy. Normally you'd be all over a superstar who flagrantly ignored the rules like that. I think it's disgusting the way Shad perpetuates so many disgusting stereotypes. Oh, so it's okay to be a criminal as long as you're enjoying yourself. Yeah, I heard his lawyer tried using that excuse to get his sentence reduced at his last parole hearing. Hey, all I'm saying is that I wouldn't trust my car keys to JTG, and neither would anyone in this arena. I don't understand how these fans can cheer a cheating thug like JTG. Oh, please. You're comparing him to a man whose boots he isn't fit to kiss. He's a thief. I have no respect for anyone who steals another person's valuables. I can't believe that JTG holds himself up as a role model for these WWE fans. I just think it's a sign that our culture is in serious trouble when guys like JTG are cheered as heroes. Why? As far as I'm concerned, he's just a pretty boy. Oh, wait. I think I just answered my own question. All I'm saying is that CM Punk's been a big fish in a little pond for a long time. He wouldn't last 2 minutes against the big boys. I know the internet loves CM Punk. The kid is overrated. Who's arguing? I'm right. They're wrong. End of discussion. Come on. He's nothing but a tattooed moron with delusions of grandeur. It really sticks in my craw that CM Punk makes a big deal about being straight edge, like that makes him better than the rest of us. Well, he calls himself Punk, and that's exactly what he is, so I'll give him credit for truth in advertising. Sabu makes me sick. He shows no respect for his own body. How can he possibly respect anyone else? Well, I don't. A superstar's career is too valuable to risk it by getting in the ring with a head case like Sabu. If you ask me, Sabu represents the worst of what ECW has to offer. Whoa, whoa, whoa. When did you start kissing ECW butt? I can't believe I'm hearing this. Sabu should be locked away like the animal that he is. I don't think there's anything that Sabu wouldn't do to an opponent if he thought it would win him the match. Sabu's not a superstar. He's an extremist. He's a stuntman. He's a one-man train wreck. Of course he does. He's an illiterate, beer-swelling redneck, like most of these WWE fans. Yeah, but I'm also a successful businessman, a wrestling god, and the best color commentator in this business. It makes me sick the way Sandman's always hitting people with that kendo stick. That's assault, you know. Yeah, but the Sandman abuses this business just so he can indulge his psychopathic urges. And that's just one of the many reasons ECW will always and forever stand for extremely crappy wrestling. If anyone else started their workday with a beer the way Sandman does, he'd be fired on the spot. Talk about being the biggest fish in the world's smallest pond. And I wouldn't mind seeing how extreme Kelly can get here tonight. Oh, I know. Believe me, I know. That's one of the reasons I showed up to work tonight. Kelly might not be the brightest bulb on the string, but who needs brains when you got a body like that? There's a lot of things I'd like to hold with Kelly. A conversation isn't one of them. Excuse me? Did you just say that you didn't want to see a beautiful young woman in a state of undress? If Kelly's brains were dynamite, she wouldn't have enough to blow her nose. Listen, next time you're going to try to be cute like that, give me some warning so I don't regurgitate on my microphone. Tori Wilson looks as lovely as ever, as if that's a surprise. All right, simmer down there, Cole. I tell you what, that Tori Wilson is one sweet little tomato. My face only gets red when I'm trying to keep myself from throttling you whenever you say something stupid, which, by the way, is pretty often. Everywhere Tori goes, she wins them over with that beautiful smile. Oh, I tell you what, Tori Wilson is one hot mamacita. Absolutely, but I just read them for the articles. And let me tell you, Tori's got some beautiful articles in there. I'm a Smackdown man through and through, but I got a lot of respect for Tommy Dreamer. You're talking about a man who's put his body through hell time and time again in order to compete in the business that he loves. I think it's a damn shame how Tommy Dreamer has sacrificed himself over and over for a bingo hall operation like ECW. And that's an attitude I can't help but respect. Those 3 letters mean more to him than life itself. I might not respect the brand, but I respect Dreamer's dedication to it. Tommy Dreamer might be the last of the old school superstars, and that is something I respect. Dreamer's not the most technical superstar, but he's incredibly tenacious. You got to be ready for the fight of your life against an opponent who will not back down. Mick Foley's never been the most mentally stable superstar, but give the devil his due. He's a real hardcore legend. Foley's not a technical competitor. He just does whatever it takes to win the match. And I mean whatever it takes. Every time you get in the ring with Mick Foley, you're taking your life in your own hands. And every story you've heard about him is true, and half of them are worse than you think. You sure don't. It could be the easygoing hippie dude Love or that total psychopath Cactus Jack. I'm not a squeamish man, but watching some of the stuff Mick Foley does sends a chill up my spine. I know exactly what you mean. Anyone who gets in the ring with Foley expecting to face a friendly little children's book author is in for a rude awakening. You look at Stone Cold Steve Austin and you're looking at a man who's seen it all and done it all. Not to mention the bane of Mr. McMahon's very existence. I was a great WWE champion, the longest reigning WWE champion in history, but if there ever was a better one, it's Stone Cold Steve Austin. Might have been, and if he was, there's no shame in coming in second to the best this business has ever seen. He's an absolute phenomenon. I don't think this business has ever seen a bigger superstar than Stone Cold. I've been on the receiving end of a beating from Stone Cold, and let me tell you, I do not envy his opponent tonight. If anything, he looks even tougher than ever, and that's saying something. In all my years in this business, I've never seen a superstar with the raw charisma of The Rock. And make no mistake about it, The Rock has not forgotten his millions and millions of WWE fans. Talk about a guy who's done it all in this business. The Rock's a 7-time champion. 7 times. Apples and oranges. Don't confuse quantity with quality. No question, The Rock is a sports entertainment natural, plain and simple. You know what I miss most about The Rock? The way he used to make you look like an idiot when you tried to interview him. I wish my in-ring career wasn't over so I could go one-on-one with the great one and find out who the greatest WWE champion of all time really is. Bret Hart calls himself the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. You're not kidding. He's right on at least 2 counts, and I might not be able to see the future, but I bet he's right on that one too. The Hart family is a legendary name in the sports entertainment business, and Bret Hart is a legend among legends. They're not the only ones. I could watch Bret Hart compete every night of the week. From anyone else, that would be just ego. From the Hitman, it's the truth. You take one look at Bret Hart, and it's not hard to see why he's a WWE Hall of Famer. Ravishing Rick Rude is a master of getting inside his opponent's head. No one can get you to lose your cool faster than him. Of course not. Rude gets you so mad you can't see straight, which makes you easy pickings. Ravishing Rick Rude's success with the ladies is legendary. I remember hearing this one story. Well, I think there was a pair of twin sisters involved, but I might be mistaken. And that's to his credit. Rick Rude doesn't care if you like him. He's here to win matches, and he's damn good at it. Rick Rude is twice the man of any guy in this arena, which makes him about 10 times the man you are. Of course not. These people are all jealous of him. They wish they were half the man he is. I hope these fans appreciate this opportunity to see Terry Funk in action here tonight. You got that right. Legend is a word that gets thrown around a little too freely sometimes, but the Funkster is the very definition of it. When you're facing Terry Funk, you have to stay on offense. If you're not on offense, you're on defense. Absolutely not. Funk is a man who can recognize the slightest hint of weakness and use that to completely pick you apart. As great as Funk is, you can't let the legend of the man psych you out. Otherwise, you're beat before you even start. If there's a hell that Terry Funk won't put himself through to get a win, I've yet to see it. And as a former hardcore champion, I take my hat off to the man for that. Jim Neidhart is an old school brawler. He's been doing this for a long time, and there's a reason he's still going strong. You say that like it's a bad thing. The Anvil earned that nickname. He can take a hammering and come back for more. Sometimes you forget just how smash-mouth Jim Neidhart's style is. The guy is an ox. Yeah, and if you ask me, some of today's superstars could use a little toughening up at the hands of the Anvil. Well, you know, fans, whenever you beat one of their favorites, they hold it against you, and the Anvil's done plenty of that over the years. Jim Neidhart's a tough son of a gun, and I doubt there's a lot of today's superstars who could hang with him in the ring. I could not agree more, and I know you consider that a bad thing, but I love to watch the Anvil do his thing. I've met Triple H in the ring before, and I'm not ashamed to admit that I came off the worst for it. I have to respect anyone who can pull that off. If you'd actually ever set foot inside that ring, you'd know that that's a bigger deal than you seem to think it is. The game is a competitor. I'm not going to badmouth the guy for doing what he's got to do to get ahead. I don't think there's anything Edge wouldn't do to get what he wants, and that's what I like about him. So you're telling me you'd rather watch a guy who does everything by the book and cares more about the rules than about winning? Because those are the guys who win. Edge is only out for himself, and I respect the fact that he's honest about that. You say that like it's a bad thing. Since when does caring about anybody else make you a better superstar? Edge is so quick and so deadly, you can't take your eyes off of him for a second. No shame in that. If you don't get caught, it's not cheating. Maybe Edge doesn't have the best attitude in the world, but he is a heck of a competitor, no doubt about it. These people might not respect Chavo Guerrero, but they have to respect the legendary Guerrero family. I don't think I've ever seen a guy as well put together as the Masterpiece. He really is a work of art. Mr. Kennedy's got it all. He's got the look, he's great on the stick, and he knows how to get it done in the ring. Yeah, so what's wrong with that? Kennedy's the total package, and he knows it. Mr. Kennedy's my kind of superstar. He'll tell you exactly what he thinks of you, and then he'll back it up in the ring. There's a huge difference between wanting to do that and being able to pull it off. Of course, it makes you sick. Every time you see him, he reminds you of what you're not. Strong, talented, good-looking, funny, bankrupt. Between his WWE career and his Hollywood connections, I'm sure Nitro takes home a pretty good paycheck. Well, nobody asked you. And I think the only thing that Nitro's got coming to him is more championship gold. Gregory Helms is one of the most dangerous cruiserweights in the business. This guy knows about 6 different ways to take you out from any position. I totally disagree. For me, that is when Helm started to become a real serious competitor here in the WWE. Oh man, Melina's one of those divas you just can't take your eyes off. That's not exactly what I was talking about, but you're not wrong. Hey, I know you don't have a hope of getting anywhere with Melina, but don't ruin my chances by association, okay? Man, I know Mickie James is supposed to be some kind of psycho, but she is one fine-looking woman. I'm not saying you're wrong. I would just love the chance to find out. She's dangerous because she's an amazing competitor. Believe me, this whole crazy thing is just an act. Hey, I like my divas with a little edge, and Mickey's about as edgy as they get. Candice might still be pretty inexperienced, but I'm impressed with her development so far. Hey, you've got enough disadvantages when it comes to picking up women. You don't need to badmouth them too. Hey, this business is called sports entertainment for a reason, and I'm highly entertained every time I get to look at Candice in action. He's made some waves, that's for sure, and when you're that big, it's hard not to. And if you get in his way, it doesn't matter how tough you are. Umaga will flatten you like nothing. Umaga has racked up one heck of a string of victories since showing up in the WWE. That doesn't surprise me one bit. They call him the Samoan Bulldozer, and that's not just hype. What are you talking about? I know I'm not the only fan of Umaga's smash mouth style. I've never been to Samoa, but after watching Umaga in action, I'm not in any hurry to visit there anytime soon. He's 6'4", 350 pounds, and he'd just as soon tear your head off as look at you. What more do you need to know? Finley's one of the toughest SOBs I've ever seen in this business, and I've shared the ring with plenty of them. Oh, cry me a river. You have to do whatever it takes to win around here if you want to go anywhere, and Finley knows it. Man, this Finley is so tough, so aggressive, and so ruthless. I just love watching this guy work. No kidding. He's taking great care of himself. A real fit guy, that Finley. A lot of people think that Randy Orton's just an overhyped pretty boy, but I respect his accomplishments. No, I mean like becoming the youngest world heavyweight champion in history and having one of the longest intercontinental title reigns of the last decade. Well, I've got news for you. Orton doesn't care what you or anyone else thinks, and that's why he's at the top of his game right now. That's because these fans have no respect for his accomplishments. Don't forget, he's a 5-time WCW champion. Yeah? Well, his attitude won him the World Heavyweight Championship here on SmackDown, and that's something all the cheering fans in the world couldn't do for him. Regal's been making a living with his fist since he was a teenager. You don't stick with something that long unless you're awfully good at it. I love Booker's attitude. He doesn't care what the fans think. He's focused on winning, and that's it. Why bother? If they don't buy a ticket to cheer him on, they'll buy one to watch him get beat. Yeah, but it wasn't until he stopped caring about the fans that he finally won the World Heavyweight Championship. Orton's never backed down from a fight. His mouth might get him in trouble, but he's always ready for it. Randy Orton has it all. A great look, fantastic charisma, and 3 generations of experience in the business. I think William Regal wants to finish this up quick. It's almost tea time after all. Of course it does. Look at me. I'm putting on a clinic in there. There's a reason I'm the longest reigning WWE champion in SmackDown history. Humility's just something that helps losers feel good about themselves. Real champions know how great they are. Hey, change your underpants and settle down. Me? I can't get enough of seeing Kane in action. I love watching a superstar take his opponents to the limit, and that is exactly what Kane does. Man, watching myself in action really makes me miss my days as an active competitor. I'm thinking about anything that doesn't require me to sit next to you for 2 hours every week. A lot of things, but mostly the fact that I was right on the money when I called myself a wrestling god. A lot of guys call themselves the best in the business, but Triple H might be right. I'd love to have him on SmackDown. Yeah, but the fans tune in every week to see if the game's going to get his. And Triple H is so damn good that he almost never does, which means they got to keep tuning in. Then the SmackDown locker room's full of idiots. There's not a bigger icon in the business today than Triple H. Aside from his brother, The Undertaker, I don't think we've ever seen a more dominant superstar than Kane. Yeah, and it's even scarier when you're in the ring with him. I can't believe the lack of respect these fans have for Chavo Guerrero and his legendary family. You say that like it's a bad thing. There's nothing wrong with being proud of your accomplishments. Do you hear him talking right now? Because I don't. It looks to me like he's taking your advice. Not that he needed it. You make it sound like Kennedy's all talk and no action. He doesn't seem to have much trouble putting his money where his mouth is. Every time I see Johnny Nitro, I'm blown away. And he's still just a kid. He's got his whole career ahead of him. Believe me, I feel the same way about you, and I'm sure Nitro would agree. That's an incredibly unprofessional attitude. Nitro's got all the potential in the world, and you have to respect that. You look at Johnny Nitro, and you might be looking at the future of this business right there. Whoa, hold on there. I think you're confusing him with me, and I don't even know how that's possible. You can't compare the Cruiserweight Championship to the WWE Championship. That's like comparing apples to smaller apples. I don't think we've ever seen a superstar dominate the Cruiserweight division like Gregory Helms. When you think about it, he's kind of like the pint-sized version of me. Oh, wah. Who needs a bunch of 8-year-olds screaming your name when you could be wearing some championship gold? I kind of like that about her. What? You don't have a thing for bad girls? I was just trying to find out the rumors are true about you being a robot. So far, looks like they are. Yeah, but going back to the pretty face thing for a moment, oh man, just look at her. You see, the thing about Malene is, oh wow. What was I saying? Oh, so you're a shrink now. Mickey might act crazy, but I think it's all part of psyching out her opponents. Good for her. That means she'd have an easier time kicking your butt. And let me tell you, that's a match I'd pay good money to see. Mickie James is a master of head games. She wins half her matches because her opponents are never sure what she's going to do. Believe me, if there's one thing that Candace isn't, it's innocent, and I'm digging it. Whoa, I don't mind a little ribbon, but that was kind of a cheap shot, don't you think? Are you blind? Look at her. You think it's a mistake to put her front and center in the middle of the ring? Wow, is it hot in here, or is it just Candace? You're not kidding. I wonder if all English people are as tough as him. Settle down. I'm just yanking your chain. I know the difference between English and Scottish. Yeah, Belfast. Pretty tough town, isn't it? Well, mainly because I know it bugs the heck out of you when I do. I'm a huge fan of MVP. The guy is the future of sports entertainment. Have some patience. Rome wasn't built in a day, you know. Hey, have some respect. That's SmackDown's most valuable player you're talking about. I love watching MVP in action. The guy is absolutely everything he claims to be. Hey, if you can bring it, you can sing it, and that's exactly what MVP's doing here tonight. Let's face it, Candace's athletic ability isn't exactly her greatest asset. Do you see a crown on my head? I'll leave the lame jokes to the Monday night crew. What Michelle McCool lacks in experience, she makes up for in legs. Look at those things. You know, you'd have a lot more success with women if you stopped trash-talking them. I don't think she's worried about that. She pulls out some of her best moves when she's on her back. Michelle is looking to go the distance here tonight. There's nothing better than a woman who wants to go all the way. Oh, man, I hope not. That's about the last thing you want a beautiful woman doing. One of the perks of being Mark Henry is that there aren't many people who can stop you from doing whatever the hell you want. And that's supposed to be a bad thing. How many times do I have to say it? This ain't ballet. There's no doubt in my mind that Mark Henry is the world's strongest man. The power of this guy is absolutely incredible. Look, anyone who gets in the ring with Mark Henry knows exactly what to expect, and if they're dumb enough to do it, that's their problem. Listen, every time Henry gets in that ring with someone, he's sending a message to the whole locker room, and that's what you got to do to get ahead around here. I love watching Mark Henry wrestle. No one else in this business can take an opponent apart the way he can. Evil, just a word that losers like you use to describe people who will do whatever it takes to win. I think Henry would take that as a compliment. Tell me something, when you look at the masterpiece, does it make you feel like even more of a loser than you normally do? Listen, if you can sing it, you can bring it. The masterpiece has decimated some of the greatest superstars in WWE. Look at the masterpiece. The guy's like a piece of art or something. Oh, easy, pal. We got kids watching. Watch your mouth. This man is a living work of art. I don't think I've ever seen a guy as well put together as the masterpiece. He really is like a work of art. You want me to say he's cocky? Fine, he's cocky. He's earned the right to be. The word giant gets thrown around a lot, but the great Khali is the real deal. I don't know, but I wish I did, just so I could stay the hell away from there. I hate to admit it, but when I look at superstars like the great Khali, part of me is glad I'm not an active competitor. Don't put words in my mouth. I'm not saying I couldn't beat him. I'm just saying I'm glad I don't have to try. Well, part of the problem is that there aren't any guys like him. All you can do is just keep moving and don't let him get his hands on you. The great Khali is a bona fide monster. I feel sorry for anyone who's got to get in the ring with him. Yeah, well, that's not hard to do when you're a 7-foot monster. Man, I see nothing but bright things in Kenny Dykstra's future. Look, when you're just starting out the way Kenny is, you take advantage of everything you can, whether it's on the up and up or not. Mark my words, this Kenny Dykstra is a young up-and-coming superstar to keep your eyes on. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's a kid you better keep your eyes on, especially if you're the referee. Kenny's come so far at such a young age, we could be looking at a future WWE champion right here. And mark my words, he's going to see a lot more championship gold before he's done. The power of the alpha male is just plain scary. And he's not just strong, he's also quick, and that makes him even more dangerous. This Marcus Corvan is pure power, and he knows how to use it. And I think he's aiming to add another one here tonight. You can't let him build momentum. He's so fast, so strong. If he gets the upper hand, you're not going to get it back. You don't normally see guys as big and strong as Marcus Corvan move as quickly as he does. He's the alpha male. He's the top of the food chain. They don't get any bigger or badder than him. I never had to face Snitsky during my in-ring career, and I can't tell you how happy I am about that. Well, that goes without saying. Look at you. You're what, $150, soaking wet? The scariest thing about Snitsky isn't his size or his strength. It's the fact that he just doesn't care about anyone or anything. And it might be the last thing his opponent ever sees. Simple. A monster like Snitsky makes the rest of the roster kick it up a notch. You can't just go through the motions when you're in a match with a guy who wants to rip your head off. Talk about intimidating. Snitsky's got everything it takes to be a dominating force in WWE. The guy's like a monster movie brought to life. Someone better round up some villagers with torches. There are two things I like about Elijah Burke. The first is his talent for talking trash. The fact that he can back it up in the ring, this guy's pure dynamite between those ropes. Do you know that Elijah Burke used to be a boxer before he came to the WWE? And his one loss came after he knocked his opponent out and didn't go to a neutral corner. What's not to like? The guy is pure gold on the microphone, and he can back it up in the ring. Elijah Burke had 102 knockouts as a boxer before he came to WWE. 102. He's the total package as far as I'm concerned, and he's going to go far in this business. Look at me out there. I look good, don't I? My tactics, as you call them, led to me becoming the longest reigning WWE champion in Smackdown history. Watching myself in action like this makes me realize what a loss it was for this business when I had to retire. Don't get smart, son. You're watching a wrestling god. Every day of my life, there's nothing I love more than stepping between those ropes and proving myself against the greatest superstars in the world. I remember this match. I just can't remember how it ends. I'm pretty sure I won, though. I usually did. I think that right about now, I was just hoping you weren't screwing up the commentary too badly. Mr. McMahon's had his share of critics over the years, but as far as I'm concerned, they're all just a bunch of jealous losers. And how many billionaires do you see getting in the ring and putting their bodies on the line like this? Mr. McMahon is one of the greatest human beings that has ever been my privilege to know. What an incredible, inspirational figure he is. I'm glad you're working on a career as a stand-up comedian because you won't last much longer around here with that attitude. I hope you're not trying to say that like it's a bad thing. Mr. McMahon is an American icon. His face should be on the dollar bill. Yeah, like the ability to fire anyone who crosses him. Absolutely. We've got a lot of talented superstars, but MVP is definitely at the top of the list. Yeah, the WWE fans aren't known for keeping their opinions to themselves. You can't let that break your focus, but that's easier said than done. And you just can't put anything over on these fans. No superstar in the locker room can afford to ignore the WWE fans. Oh man, these WWE fans are fired up. I'm all for freedom of expression, whether I agree with what they're saying or not. The crowd makes a huge difference, whether they're for you or against you. Yeah, and 10,000 paying customers can't be wrong. These fans have got something they want to share with us. I love hearing a crowd come alive, even if I disagree with what they're saying. It's like he's holding up a mirror. It takes guts to turn an opponent's taunt against them like that. What is this? Monkey see, monkey do? That's some impressive trash talking right there. I think he's trying to make fun of his opponent. Oh man, I guess if you're going to dish it out, you better be able to take it. I love it. He just used his opponent's signature move against him. Wow. Talk about giving your opponent a taste of their own medicine. He just stole his opponent's signature move. That takes guts. That takes some serious skill to execute your opponent's signature move like that. Look at this. It is, and that's one heck of a signature move right there. Going for it and got it. Textbook execution of his signature move. Oh man, here it comes. Here it comes. Look out. And once you get hit with a guy's signature move, that is usually all she wrote. Look at this. He's going for it. It sure could. Nobody sticks around long after getting hit with that one. No kidding. That's a heck of a lot worse than having your shoulders pinned to the mat. Well, there you have it. Two superstars came into the match, and only one of them still above ground. Yeah, and if you lose, well, you have plenty of time to think about what you did wrong. That's for sure. Everybody pulls out all the stops in a match like that. Well, he wasn't planning on winding up in that casket tonight, but that is exactly what has happened. You can't. Plain and simple. You don't go into a match like this thinking you might lose, but that's what has happened. I will never, ever participate in a buried alive match. I can't even imagine taking that kind of risk. The WWE fans better stay out of the way if they know what's good for them. That barricade isn't exactly doing its job tonight. Sure it is, but you gotta love this kind of fight. Oh boy, now they're taking it into the crowd. Look out, they're headed into the crowd. This is getting serious. Uh-oh, there they go. Now this is my kind of fight. You better believe it. These superstars are nuts. What a shot. That sent them both over the wall. Yeah, and these fans better watch out. Oh boy, the crowd just got made a part of this one. What are you talking about? That's not an illegal move last time I checked. And that's a move that can temporarily blind your opponent. Getting your face ground into that rope is even more painful than it looks. That's what you call being resourceful. You have to do whatever it takes in a match like this. And that's the kind of thing you need to do if you're serious about winning a match. And if he keeps it up, his opponent won't be either. Oh man, ring rope right across the face. Hey, you do what you got to do to win the match. I can tell you from experience, getting your face ground into that ring rope isn't anyone's idea of a good time. And that is a great way to put a big hurt on your opponent. There aren't many things more painful than getting your face ground into the rope. Look at this, grinding the face right along that ring rope. That ring rope's crushing the throat, cutting off the flow of blood and oxygen. He's choking his opponent with the ring rope, and he's putting all of his weight behind this choke. Nothing cuts off your air quicker than a rope across the throat. And there's just enough give to those ropes to make this an extremely lethal maneuver. That's smart strategy, using the ring rope for a weapon like that. Apparently you can, because that's exactly what he's doing. He's going to make short work of his opponent if he keeps this choke up. That is a very effective strategy. You can't breathe, you can't fight. Nothing fancy about this, just a straight up choke using that middle rope. That's the whole idea. You don't want to draw this out any longer than you have to. Choking an opponent with the ropes can take the fight out of them quick. That's one of those moves that hurts just looking at it. Here's a move that'll leave you singing soprano. And I don't care how tough you are, that hurts like hell. Uh-oh, here we go with the old top rope between the legs. Nothing will take the fight out of a superstar quicker than a move like this. Uh-oh, I think every guy watching this has an idea of how painful this has got to be. Experiencing it, hands down, trust me. Oh boy, somebody's voice just went up a couple of octaves right there. Just about? If you can think of a worse one, I'd like to hear it. Oh man, whether you like this superstar or not, you gotta have a little sympathy right now. There's no such thing. Smart superstars know that the ring can be their best weapon. Uh-oh, I hope this superstar wasn't planning on having kids anytime soon. Oh boy, here we go with the old top rope between the legs trick. And you have no idea how painful it is to have that steel mesh used as a weapon against you. He's out for blood, and he's going to do whatever it takes to get it. That's why matches like these are career shorteners. Even the winners don't escape unscathed. That'll mess up your good looks for sure. I don't have to imagine it. I've been there before, and believe me, it's just as bad as it looks. This is exactly what you can't let happen if you want to win a match like this. It's a war, that's for sure, and that cage is the ultimate weapon. That's not pretty to look at, but most of the things you got to do to win a match like this aren't. That's for sure. What a vicious head slam right into the steel. That's a smart move. You're in a steel cage. Use the cage itself as a weapon. And that's a great way to use the cage as a weapon against your opponent. Oh man, here's a classic move. Nothing fancy about this one. Mr. McMahon must spend a fortune replacing these monitors. Oh boy, I think we can kiss another announce table goodbye. Oh, for the love of, they're tearing apart the announce table. This looks like the beginning of the end for the old announce table. You might want to let him do what he wants. You're not exactly the most intimidating guy in the world. I think we're about to find out how sturdy these tables really are, and my guess is not very. Days, try minutes. I lost count a long time ago. I hope Mr. McMahon gets a bulk deal on these things. Yep, there go the monitors. I wonder if that's going to come out of his check. Yep, I think these superstars have some ideas for that table that don't involve broadcasting. Uh-oh, get ready to move. I don't think you're going to want to stick around for what comes next. Oh boy, that's using your head, or your opponent's head anyway. Yeah, and when flesh meets wood, the wood doesn't usually come off the worse for it. Oh, getting your head slammed in the table once is bad, but this is too much. You really want to interrupt him and get an answer to that? You're more than welcome to. Look at this, head first into the table over and over again. If he is, he's doing a pretty good job of it. Talk about up close and personal. We're getting a great view of the action here. That's what you call some good old-fashioned head banging. Man, a vicious series of head slams straight into our announce table. Yeah, and there's no give to the table either. This is going to take its toll, and quick. Looks like he's introducing his opponent's face to the announce table. Speak for yourself. I like it when the action gets up close and personal. I think he's teaching the crowd to count to 10, and by the looks of them, some of them could use that. And I bet I know how many we're going to see. He's got his opponent right where he wants him, and here come the fist. And anytime you're taking punches like that and not answering back, well, you're not on the winning side of the match. I'll just put it that way. Oh boy, that turnbuckle is not where you want to be at this point in the match. Yeah, not when your opponent's dishing out the punches like this. He's got his opponent trapped in the turnbuckle, and here come the knuckle sandwiches. And in a situation like that, you can't even defend yourself. You just got to try and gut it out. Uh-oh, this isn't going to be pretty. Closed fist shots in the turnbuckle. Yeah, there's not much you can do once your opponent starts unloading like that. Here come the closed fist punches. Gee, I wonder how many there's going to be. Oh boy, this won't improve your odds of winning. That's going to leave a mark for sure. That's a smart move right there, making use of that exposed turnbuckle. Yeah, and the padding on that turnbuckle has been removed. There's nothing but exposed steel now. Yeah, and if you can dish out this kind of punishment, you're putting yourself in a good position in a match like this. Wham! Right in the exposed steel of that turnbuckle. And he is not letting up. This is brutal. Even when it's got a cover on it, the turnbuckle is not something you want to be driven into head first. Yeah, and anytime an opponent's able to control you like that physically, it's not a good sign. He's in the driver's seat here, and it looks like he's introducing his opponent to that exposed turnbuckle. It's not exactly sportsmanlike, but it's not illegal either. You would have to be an idiot not to take advantage of an uncovered turnbuckle. Your head will be ringing for days after that. Believe me, I know. He's driving his opponent's face right into the ring steps. Hey, all's fair in love and war, and make no mistake about it, this is war. Getting your bell rung on those steel steps is not going to improve your odds of winning any. And that's a great way to take the fight right out of your opponent. There aren't too many things that'll mess you up worse than getting those steel steps right in the kisser. And it doesn't look like the ring steps came off the worst for it. Hey, if you get an opportunity to use the ringside environment against your opponent, you better take it. I've seen guys knocked flat out with that. If you can keep going after that, you are one tough SOB. Wow, check that out. That is a smart strategy there, using those ring steps like that. Head first, right into the ring steps. Did you hear that? Now that's strategy, using the steps against his opponent like that. Right into the ring post. I love it. We know where this is going. Arm, meet ring post. Right into the ring post. That is how you pick apart an opponent. He's got that arm, and this is going to hurt. And that'll sap the strength right out of that arm in a hurry. Looks like he's going to work over that arm. Now, if he's smart, he'll look to follow up with other moves that target that arm and take the fight right out of his opponent. Oh, man, he's going right after that arm. And there's no give to that ring post either. That is solid steel. That arm won't be much good after smashing it into the ring post like that. You don't have to take out your entire opponent. You can focus on one part of their body and pick them apart. I don't think that arm's going to be good for much after a move like that. I don't care how tough you are. That's a move that'll take the fight out of any man. That's just wrong, plain and simple. It hurts just looking at it. Oh, looks like someone's done fooling around here. Yep, and raise your voice a few octaves to boot. Oh, man, I can't watch this. You know, I think I better just let that one slide. Oh, man, it looks like he pulled his opponent's groin area to that ring post right there. You're not kidding. That'll make you rethink your career in a hurry. There's not a WWE fan or a superstar in the building who would hold it against you if you called it quits after a move like that. Uh-oh, don't try this at home, kids. Talk about laying the boots in. Now where's he going? That is just about the last thing you want to see in a match. Did you see that knee bounce off the ring post? That's the way to pick apart your opponent's vertical base. You called it. He bounced that knee off the ring post with authority. He's setting his opponent up for something. It's going outside of the ring and right into the ring post. That knee might be seriously injured. I think I know where this is going. Okay, I won't, but that's a vicious shot to the knee right there, courtesy of that solid steel ring post. I think he's got some bad intentions here involving the ring post and his opponent's knee. And that's a great strategy right there, using the ring itself as a weapon against your opponent. That depends on your perspective. If you're the one who just slammed your opponent's knee into the ring post, things are definitely looking up for you. The stomping's bad enough, but I get the feeling this will get worse before it gets better. He's using that ring post to attack his opponent's knee, and that is great strategy, picking apart your opponent a piece at a time. Watch the way he picks apart his opponent's leg here. Head first, right into the barricade, and that's even more painful than it looks. Oh boy, it's never a good thing when your opponent's got you by the barricade. Hey, you buy a ringside seat, you gotta expect stuff like that. Talk about using your head. There's a very thin layer of padding along that barrier, but trust me, that doesn't soften the blow much at all. Head first, right into the barricade. Thinly padded is right. You get your head bounced off of it, it's going to take its toll, believe me. You can feel that impact from here. Nope, and let me tell you, that padding doesn't soften the blow much at all. I hope someone's got a whole bottle of aspirin waiting backstage after this match, because you're going to need it after that. That's a smart move, slamming his opponent's head into the barrier like that. I've taken that one before, and it's not the most fun thing I've ever done. Chest first, right onto the security wall. He might have knocked the wind out of his opponent there. Looks like he's planning on using that security barricade for something more than crowd control. Chest first, right onto it. That'll knock the wind right out of you. He's got his opponent next to the barricade. What is he up to? What an impact. That's a good way to break a rib or three. Those fans at ringside are going to be up close and personal for this one. And that's what you call a sickening impact. I think I heard something crack. Oh boy, someone's going for a ride. And that's a smart move right there, using that barrier as a weapon against his opponent. That's a great way to knock the fight right out of him. Oh man, look out below. And that's what you've got to do if you want to win this match. You have to use the ringside environment to your advantage. Uh-oh, this isn't good. That's going to leave a mark, believe you me. That's all about showing your opponent who's in charge right there. He sure isn't going easy on his opponent. Look at the way he's grinding that forearm right into the face. It's a tough position to get out of, and it really gives your opponent a chance to work you over. He's got his opponent right where he wants him, and there's a vicious forearm across the eyes. This is a display of physical dominance, pure and simple. It's all about proving to your opponent that they don't have a chance of overpowering you. An old school forearm, and he's grinding it right across the face. That hurts like a son of a gun, believe me. And a wicked chest slap. Nothing like adding a little insult to injury, or injury to injury for that matter. He's setting his opponent up. Look at this. We got some old school brutality. Look at this. That's an old school move right there. What a slap to the chest. That's all about breaking the will of your opponent.